Welcome back to The Next Bloom, the podcast where we explore the psychology of retirement and what it really means to grow into the next season of life with purpose, with joy, and with curiosity. I'm your host, Delia Farquharson, and today we're diving into a topic that has so much to offer in retirement: creativity. But before we jump in, let's pause and think about those who have spent their lives working in the creative fields: the writers, the musicians, the dancers, the painters, the designers and makers of all kind, like my friend Jean that I'm dedicating this show to. For them, creativity has never been a side hobby. It's been their livelihood, their identity, and often their main source of meaning. Yeah, Jean really loves her craft. She's a sculptor and she really loves her craft. So when retirement comes, the question isn't about how do I find my creative side, but rather how do I continue to honor my craft without the deadlines, the pressures, or the financial stakes that once defined it. Some artists welcome retirement as freedom, the space to create for themselves rather than for clients, for students, for audiences, or even for paychecks. Others feel the loss of structure, relevance, or purpose, as if their work and their identity are so intertwined that stepping back feels almost impossible. And the truth is, many creatives never retire. They may slow down, they may change mediums, or shift their focus, but the act of creating stays with them. So let's rethink creativity. A lot of us grew up thinking creativity was for artists and for musicians or for writers. But creativity is much broader than that. It's also problem solving, storytelling, experimenting, and finding new ways to express who we really are. In retirement, creativity can mean picking up a paintbrush after 40 years of never painting, trying your hand at gardening or cooking, quilting, crocheting, or knitting, writing down family stories, or better yet, family recipes to pass on, or even designing a new way of living, like reinventing where you live, your routines, your spaces, or traditions. The truth is, retirement can be the perfect time to play and to experiment without the pressure of performance or perfection. So, why does creativity matter in retirement? Research shows that engaging in creative activities is linked to better mental health, sharper memory, and even increased longevity. Creativity provides a sense of flow, a timeless state when you're immersed in what you're doing. Creativity also can combat loneliness, which is a chronic state in our society. Many creative pursuits, like joining a choir, a book club, or a community art class, bring people together. And on a deeper level, creativity helps you to continue writing your life story, giving shape and meaning to the next bloom. But of course, not everyone feels creative. So, how do you overcome those blocks? You might say, I don't have a creative bone in my body. But often, that belief is rooted in old comparisons, like being told as a child that you weren't a good singer, or that your drawing didn't measure up. That happened to me, by the way. I was told in high school that I was not a good singer. The truth is, creativity isn't about skill. It's about expression, and that's why I continue to sing. It's about process, not product. The key is to give yourself permission to experiment, to be messy, to follow your curiosity, to color outside the lines. So, let's look at a reflection exercise. Think about one activity that you used to enjoy as a child or a young adult. Something that brought you joy, but it got lost along the way. Just imagine reintroducing it into your life now, without judgment, just for the fun of it. What would it look like to make space for that creative spark in your weekly routines? So, we're talking 15 minutes. What if you just took 15 minutes every week and played, experimented with that creative opportunity that you've let go of, that you haven't been playing with since you were a young person? Even 15 minutes a week can begin to shift your sense of vitality and joy. So, retirement isn't the end of creativity. It might just be the beginning. Because this may be your season to explore, to play, and to discover new ways of expressing who you are. I want to thank you for listening to The Next Bloom today. If this episode inspired you, I'd love for you to share it with a friend, to follow us on social media, X, YouTube, Spotify, Facebook, Instagram, all the social media platforms. And I'd love for you to share it with someone who might need encouragement to discover or rediscover their creative sides. And as always, I'd love to have your feedback. I want to hear your thoughts. What creative paths are you exploring in this chapter of life? Until then, until next time, I encourage you to pursue joy, color outside the lines, and to keep blooming.